Unable to bring up St. R.
Anchorhead Naval Base, please respond. Come in.
A coup on the day of the treaty signing?
Welcome back to the Canon run. This is a run where I go through all of the Strange Real Ace Combat games in chronological order with the protagonist's canonical aircraft. The rules are mostly the same as last time, but I also add a rule that all allies must survive during escort missions, which I'm sure won't be painful at all. Anyways, let's get into it. Following the Balkan War, Osea gained more influence on the global stage and began trying to assert their influence on the Usean continent. In response, the nations of Usea came together to form the Usean Allied Forces to oppose Osea. However, several countries in southern Usea instead chose to ally with Osea, inviting Osea onto the continent and signing a treaty with the superpower. However, on May 30th, 1997, the day the treaty was to be signed, conservative extremists across the entire continent launched a massive coup d'etat, beginning the conflict known as the Usean Coup. The Usean Allied forces were caught completely off guard, especially since many Allied personnel also joined the rebels. The rebel forces rapidly took control of the continent, and the Allied forces were forced to retreat west. As a last resort, the Allied forces hired the mercenary Scarface Squadron, designating them the 37th Air Force 18th Fighter Wing's 1st Special Tactical Fighter Squadron. Anyways, we play as Phoenix, the leader of Scarface Squadron, returning from the air combat conflict, taking part in the Allied forces' Operation Fighter's Honor in an effort to quell the rebellion. This conflict is depicted in Ace Combat 2 and its remake, Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy, also known as Ace Combat 3D Cross Rumble. With Legacy being the remake, it takes precedence over the original Ace Combat 2, so we will be running through the remake instead of the original, much to the dismay of anyone who loves the original. To make up for that, I've decided to add Ace Combat 2's music in this video alongside Legacy's music. For this game, we'll be playing on the Ace difficulty. Wingman choices at my discretion, but I've decided they have to fly the same aircraft as me. One last thing. This game features a system called action maneuvers, allowing you to charge up a gauge and press a button to easily position yourself behind an enemy, a system borrowed from the Skycrawler's Innocent Aces. For this run, I decided to ban action maneuvers, though I still allow myself to use evasion maneuvers to evade missiles. With the specifics out of the way, let's begin. Phoenix's first aircraft of this conflict is the F-16C Fighting Falcon, a multi-role fighter that actually holds up pretty decently, even in the late game. For this run, I've also decided that parts are fair game to equip, so I have some choice parts equipped. In particular, the Sniper OS part, which automatically aims my gun for me. Let's get out there.
Phoenix, move out.
Mission 1 Gambit has us intercepting enemy bombers on their way to bomb one of our last bases in Twinkle Islands. This mission also serves as the game's tutorial, so it's pretty slow. I head towards the first bomber and decide to fly in formation with it for some reason. I'm just gonna pretend that Phoenix was trying to aura farm on the bombers first. Once I'm done with that, I quickly shoot down the bomber. I head towards the second bomber and consider doing the same thing, but then I come to my senses and just blast it out of the sky. The third bomber has an escorting F4, who I quickly blast before taking down the bomber. The next bomber is further away, so I fire a long-range missile to quickly bring it down. I then quickly catch up and attack the two F4 escorts. One of them nosedives towards the water. I probably killed the pilot or something. I make sure he gets cremated. Last targets are a couple of MiG-21s, as well as the ace Goldbird in a MiG-144. I take out one MiG-21 and Goldbird in the first pass. I then quickly come back around and eliminate the last MiG-21 while our Commander Olsen talks about his vacation plans.
Great view. This would be a good vacation destination.
Mission 2 Easy Monkey. Mission 2 Easy Money has us intercepting an enemy reconnaissance unit over Mount Lambert. I first engage and neutralize the two F4s right in front of me.
Use maneuvers on targets that are difficult to lock on.
No, I don't think I will. A couple more fighters come to engage me, and they fire at me. I do use an evasion maneuver to evade the missile, when my MPM returns to favor. I come around and shoot down the remaining fighters before engaging the E-767. But before that, I fly past the E-767 to find the Ace Cosmic in a B-2 flying through the mountains. Once Cosmic is down, I quickly down the E-767, completing the mission.
Damn, spoke too soon. Enemy fighters closing in.
This is Lancer 2 to Lancer 1. Our target is the Allied forces. I've read the report. We're going up against some mercenary dogs. They're nothing more than lowly hacks compared to us. Lancer Squadron, show them just disguise.
I now get intercepted by the Ace Lancer Squadron, who really like high-speed hit-and-run tactics. I try to approach them head-on during these charges, but I have no luck. However, I do manage to pursue one of them after a charge and bring him down in a dogfight. I then do the same with a second Lancer member. The remaining members charge at me again and get behind me. I try to bait them into firing at me so I can do an evasion maneuver, but they don't fall for it. Instead, I face another one of the chargers head-on and take out one more, leaving only the leader, Albert Wahlberg. He then just kinda gives up and lets me obliterate him with a missile volley. Bye, Albert.
I'm going down!
Now it's time for us to go on the offensive. Mission 3, City on Fire, has us striking and liberating Anchorhead. I fly in and take out the ground targets around Dockyok Bay. And then I eliminate the two F-4s that come to intercept me. I then head towards Anchor Bay, hitting the first supply ship with a bomb. I head into the bay and quickly destroy the enemy targets around the bay, and sink the supply ships in one swift pass. More F-4s come to attack me, so I blast them out of the sky. This makes the vehicle Big Cat spawn, moving across the Bay Bridge. I get the right angle and take it out, because Big Cat means Big Boom. A couple of F-16s attack, but they're not a problem, even if they try to be. Two more F-16s come in, but I guess they didn't notice me or something, allowing me to get behind them and kill them without them even trying to evade. All that's left is the Kinnear-class carrier moored in the bay, which I promptly sink with my bombs, along with the aircraft on the deck. The enemy forces here are defeated and Anchorhead is free. The next mission is a split-choice mission. However, looking at the times the missions take place at, I decide I can do both of them, so I do. Mission 4, Tin Castle, has us striking a rebel supply base, the Keep, in the Amber Mountains. This is the first mission where I get to bring a wingman along, so I bring along Edge.
However, if you show any signs of being unfit to uphold your duties...
Yes, ma'am. Anyways, I take out the outlying targets, then start heading towards the Keep. After making a pass at the Keep's defenses, I spot and start engaging the ace Ricochet. Unfortunately, he's much more agile than me, and I can't get a beat on him. After a bit, he decides to run, and I chase him. After a while, it looks like he's turning around to engage me again, and I get some gun hits on him, but he soon starts running again. I keep chasing him down, and chase him all the way to Gunther Bay, which fails the mission because I exit the AO. Trying again, I decide to go after Ricochet before heading towards the Keep. Unfortunately, Ricochet is still too agile, and I can only get a few gun hits on him, and he soon starts running again. In my next attempt, I decide to try running from him instead, and it surprisingly works. He flies at me head on and I shoot him down while dodging his missile. Once Ricochet is down, the rest of the mission is pretty simple. I eliminate the fighters and pick away at the keep's defenses. I destroy all the facilities in the keep, and finally destroy central radar to complete the mission. Now for the other mission. 5 hours later. Mission 5, Opera House. We're to destroy a rebel-controlled oil drilling facility that are using fuel. This time we have Slash, who calls Olsen Pops, but not that Pops. That one comes later.
Phoenix, this is Flash. Always a pleasure.
Quit it with the pop stuff. If you were really my kid, I'd disown you.
Damn. Anyways, I move along the chain of oil platforms and head towards the tank farm on the island. I neutralize the air defenses on the island and the control tower before blowing up the oil tanks. Once this is done, I head north to intercept the ace of this mission, D Cowboy, before he escapes. I approach him head on and blow him out of the sky. See ya, Sky Cowboy. I then proceed to ignore the rest of the fighters and just concentrate on destroying the rest of the oil platforms. With the auxiliary platforms out of action, I head towards Opera House, the main drilling base. I fire a volley of MPMs to neutralize the defenses and destroy Opera House in a quick couple of passes. Easy. Up next is Mission 6, Hunting Season. We're to intercept an enemy airstrike before they can reach us. I confront the enemy fighters head on and take 2 of them down before they can break formation. I then dogfight the fighters and quickly take them out one by one. The second wave arrives and is more of the same, hitting them in the initial merge, then dogfighting them. I also managed to make a Mirage fly right past me so I can just easily blast him. The third wave gets here and I do the same thing, though I do get greedy with a head-on attack and take a missile to the face for it. Luckily, I have just enough armor equipped to survive a singular missile hit. I make sure to pay the pilot back for the shot and take out the rest of the fighters.
Listen up. You're free to engage once we reach the rendezvous point. So, business as usual? Give them hell. There'll be nothing but burning scrap heaps by the time we're done with them. Because that's how B Squadron does it.
These guys sound fun. Anyway, we're now facing off against B Squadron. I try to fight them straight up, and it doesn't go well. I try again to at least take one down in the merge, but no dice. I continue trying to fight them straight up, but still no luck.
Listen, Phoenix, you need to get yourself out of that airspace. You have no chance of counterattacking surrounded like that. Get some distance.
Alright. I heed Olsen's advice and fly out to escape from Beast's web. I then come back around to engage the ace, Death Rave 2000. Yes, that's his actual name. I try to blast him head on, but it doesn't work, and I'm forced to dogfight him. After a bit, I manage to shoot down DR 2000, and I can start engaging Beast Squadron. I bait a Beast member into getting behind me so I can do an evasion maneuver. He shoots past me, and I fire my missiles. But one of the other members does a "Get down, Mr. President," and takes one for him. Okay. I try to bait another one behind me, which turns out to be Beast 1, who I want to save for last, so I leave him. I bait a different Beast member, but I mess up and explode as a result. This time, I actually managed to shoot down DR-2000 in a high-speed pass before he enters Beast's web, which makes things go much quicker. I chase down a Beast member, and he does his own evasion maneuver to get behind me. I then just counter his evasion by doing my own evasion, turning the tables once again and blowing him out of the sky. I take down another member in a head-on pass as he comes out to meet me. The third Beast member does an evasion maneuver to dodge my missile, so I just shoot another one and finish him off with gunfire. The fourth member dies similarly to the second member, leaving just Beast 1. I dogfight him, but he dodges my shots. I then get the idea to get in front of him to bait him into letting me do an evasion maneuver. I dodge a missile and he zips past me. I fire missiles and he tries to evade, but fails to do so. I continue chasing him, and he tries to do an evasion maneuver to get behind me, but Ed just finishes him off for me. Thanks, Nagase.
Damn it! You won't win the next one.
We're now to intercept a retreating electronic warfare unit over Meriton in Mission 7, Midnight Assassin. I head towards the first two fighters in front of us, but we immediately get jammed, but I continue tracking them visually. I shoot down the first F4 and take down the second with an LRAA once the jamming lightens up. The first E767 jammer is being escorted by a couple of fighters, including the ace Razorback. I ignore Razorback for now, and focus on the jammer craft. I quickly shoot it down with an LRAA and a couple of missiles. Continuing to ignore Razorback for now, I head towards the second E767. I get a bit too impatient and fire an LRAA right as the jamming goes off, making my missile immediately go dumb. I just getting close to the E767 and quickly shoot it down. The enemy fighters start retreating, but Razorback stays, so I take the opportunity to shoot him down, though he does slam a missile into my face. I start pursuing the retreating fighters, but I get intercepted by a mysterious red F-14, the Zoe Captain. I move to engage it, but Zoe is very agile, making it very hard to get a hit. Zoe even uses flares to evade some of my missiles. Wish I had those. After a bit though, I manage to get a clean angle and hit Zoe with a couple of missiles, while Slash also lands a hit. Heavily damaged, Zoe withdraws and our job is done. Next up is another split choice. Once again, we're doing both, though the timing on this is a bit tighter with only 2 hours between them. Mission 8 is Rising High. We're intercepting high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft. And no, Olsen, they're not bombers. Though these were XP-70s in the original. I encounter the first F-16, and he immediately goes space shuttle status. I chase him and blow him up. Peeking above the clouds, I fire an LRAA and a missile at the first U-2, though my missile somehow misses. For now, I just shoot down the second U-2 before coming back around to the first one. I try to snap a missile shot off at it, but it doesn't work and I just stall. Accepting my fate, I come back around properly and shoot him down. And continue onwards, firing an LRAA at the next recon aircraft, an SR-71. In the meantime, I also engaged the ace Dao, who kinda just forgets how to fly. He probably started stalling, so I put him out of his misery. I continue towards the SR-71s, firing an LRAA at the further one while quickly closing the distance to the closer one to get a missile shot. The escort fighters try to attack me, but I just ignore them. Fighting them at high altitude would really not be ideal for me. I take out the remaining SR-71s while the fighters try to kill me. I even do an evasion maneuver that makes a MiG-31 shoot past me. The mission ends before I can kill them. Oh well. 2 hours later, we head out onto the other op, Mission 9 Acid Rain, where enemy bombers are attempting to bomb Anchorhead, so we have to stop them. I blast the first B-52 out of the sky and go to the second one, engaging the escort fighter. I then get very confused when the MiG doesn't die. Anyways, once he's down, I down the second bomber. The next wave of bombers arrives and I take on the fighters. The escorts go down really quick and I down the B-52. A landing ship called Leonid tries to sneak into Anchorhead and I say no to it. For some reason, I only fire one missile instead of two, necessitating another pass to sink it. Not sure why I did that. Another bomber, a B-2, tries to stealthily bomb the city, while it's all alone, so I blow it up. One more wave of bombers arrives, and I do more of the same, taking out the escort fighters before neutralizing the bombers. I get a bit too close to the last B-52, which makes it tricky to get a missile shot. I try my best to position myself correctly, and get my shots off as soon as I do, downing the bomber right before it reaches the city. We're next sent to the Choppenberg rainforest to stop a rebel cargo drop operation. I head for it to start destroying the drop cargo with my guns. While doing so, I also fire an LRAA at the transporter dropping the cargo. Once all the cargo behind the transporter is destroyed, I shoot down the transporter itself. Another transport aircraft appears, but I decide to take out the ground targets first, getting an LRAA shot off while doing so. Destroying all the ground targets makes the Ace spawn, but I work on the cargo while waiting for the Ace to get to me. Again, I destroy the cargo and the transport plane itself. By now, the Ace hangman is close enough, and I show him how it feels to be left hanging. I then ignore the rest of the fighters and work on the third set of cargo containers. While doing so, an F-14 oh so rudely rushes at me and hits me. I shoot him out of the cockpit though, causing him to crash as I gun down the cargo. My gun then decides it doesn't want to hit the next cargo container, forcing me to hit it with my face. And by my face, I mean an LRAA that was meant for the transporter. With all the cargo destroyed, I shoot down the last transport plane to complete the mission. Our next mission is Mission 11, Groupies, where we're to escort a VIP transport back to Allied lines. Hey, this seems familiar.
But our celebrity has got some pretty determined groupies, if you will.
Yeah, that's the name of the mission. Anyways, I move ahead of Dryman to intercept a couple of F-14s coming in, quickly bringing them down before they get anywhere near the transport. Next, a lone Harrier, I guess, decides that he's going to be the main character. He's not. A couple of F-14s then appear behind Dryman, and I have to rush to shoot them down before they do too much damage. I try to get them with my MPMs, but only one goes down to them. I come back around to dogfight the second one, damaging him, while Slash finishes him off. Another squadron of F-14s then appears in front, along with the Ace Tall Man, also in an F-14. Probably Dryman's long-lost brother or something. I quickly kill Tall Man in a head-on pass, then make good use of the longer range of my MPM to take down two more F-14s while they're laser focused on the transport. I then dogfight the last F-14, while Dryman takes just a little bit of damage. Another Harrier tries to be the main character, and I continue to say no. Lastly, a squadron of F-15 SE Silent Eagles appear, and I use the same tactic I did with the F-14 squadron, getting behind them and using the range of my MPMs to take them down one by one, and mopping up the remainder. We're now headed back to the Scully Islands. Mission 12, Seagull, tasks us with sinking the Usean 2nd Fleet under rebel control.
So, it's the Scarface Squad's little birdie. Just hope he's worth the trip. And boys, behave yourselves.
Roger, my lady. I mean, what?
That's what I like to hear.
Anyways, I start attacking the fleet's outlying task force, nearly kamikazing the frigate. I use a combination of my bombs and missiles to quickly sink the detachment. Another Harrier, another wannabe main character, and another dead. The fleet's ace Cocoon Squadron starts engaging me, and I start returning fire. I take a hit while they're clustered together in their cocoon, which makes them hard to hit, but I do manage to land a hit on Camilla, Cocoon 1, and damage the other. I then shoot down one member in a head-on pass. Cocoon Squadron proceeds to retreat for now, so I return my attention to the fleet. I shoot down the two F-14s that were launched by the carrier, then get really confused wondering where the named Ace is. Thinking I probably just took too long, I restart, this time making Cocoon Squadron retreat really fast. This time, the Ace Rose Pink actually appears, and I shoot them down. I then begin sinking the second fleet, sinking a cruiser and a frigate in the first pass. I then come around for a second pass and sink the other two escorting vessels. I shoot down the two F-14s again, leaving just the flagship, the carrier Arquette. I promptly plant two GPBs in the carrier's flight deck, leaving it a burning wreck. Now all that's left is to deal with Cocoon Squadron. I try to get some shots off in the merge, but I get spiked and have to evade. I start dogfighting them and manage to shoot down one in a pass. Shortly after, the Zoe Major enters the fight, this time in an F-18. Cocoon Squadron pulls back for now, leaving Zoe to us. Zoe then kinda just decides not to maneuver, and Edge and I just wail on it, forcing Zoe into retreat in about 10 seconds. See ya, I guess. Cocoon Squadron comes back and the fight's on for the third time. I once again use the tried and true tactic of hit the brakes and he'll fly right by, except that my Cocoon 1 shoot in front of me, who proceeds to do the exact same thing with her own evasion maneuver. I come around to try the thing again, but once again Cocoon 1 shoots in front of me and evades again. This is apparently just a cat and mouse game now.
Why don't you invite him to join our squadron? Not a bad idea. If he manages to take them all out, I'll consider it.
Promise? I mean, what? Anyways, I shoot down Bruno, we don't talk about him, and Rodrigo starts chasing Edge. I use this opportunity to shoot him down. I engage them in a dogfight again, downing Kaio and another Cocoon member. I get behind another member and fire missiles, but one of my missiles decides it doesn't want to track at all, so I have to wait for more missiles before he can go down. This just leaves Camilla as the sole remaining member of Cocoon Squadron. She then hits Edge with a missile. How dare this lady hurt my lady? I blast her out of the sky for her insolence, ending the naval threat. Now, it's a good thing I don't have to land on a carrier. We're now sent on a solo mission to fly through the Seals Bridge ravine and sink a big submarine, in Mission 13, One Night Stand. I head through the ravine and reach a fork. I snipe the Apache in the left path, and head down the right path to destroy a gunboat. I decide to prioritize gunboats over Apaches because they give more points. I continue through the tight turns of the ravine, reaching an Apache, and losing control a bit trying to shoot it down. This sends me into the ravine walls, which is not great for my health. This time, I get a better hold of my controls and reach the second fork. I head down the left path through a cave, sinking a gunboat and the AA guns guarding it. I head down the left path once again, taking out the Apaches, then I fly up high, near the edge of the ravine to destroy a comet in a Chinook. After more ravine flying and Apache blasting, I reach the submarine Fensalir attempting to reach a submarine dock. With a couple of missiles, Fensalir submerges permanently and our work here is done. A rookie squadron is under attack and we've gotta go help. Mission 14, Green Bird, has us protecting Pennant Squadron, as they got a bit too close to rebel arms factories in the Schofields Plateau, which appeared in AC2. Immediately, a few Pennant aircraft are being pursued by some F-18s. I engage them head-on and quickly shoot down 2 of them. I then get into a close-range fight with the rest of them and shoot them all down. I then move on to engage the ace Usean. Doing this quickly is essential for keeping Pennant Squadron alive, because remember, I have to ensure all allies survive. Unfortunately, Usean is very agile, and while I do manage to down him, I take so long that a Pennant Squadron member is shot down, and I have to restart. I realize that the key to keeping them alive is to take down both the initial F-18s and Usean as fast as possible. I managed to optimize the hell out of the first group, shooting down all the F-18s in about 20 seconds. Unfortunately, I still get some bad luck, and a Pennant member gets shot down quicker than usual. Eventually, some good luck with Usean allows me to reach the Pennant aircraft and quickly shoot down the X-29s harassing him. I then rush over to the last Pennant aircraft under attack and get the Grippins off his tail, getting them to fight me instead. I can then pick off the Grippins one by one, though the last Grippin proves to be really annoying by not dying. Slash helps me finish him off. Now Pennant Squadron is saved with all members accounted for.
I can't believe they sent the Scarface Squadron to come get us. I'm letting all the guys know about it once we get back. Would you knuckleheads learn to keep your mouths shut? Ah!
Nothing I could do about that. Anyways, Zoe, it's back. It's a Colonel now, flying a YF-23. I dogfight Zoe, but it's really agile and I can't let a hit on it. Slash does though. I continue struggling to get a beat on Zoe. It even pulls what appears to be a Cobra to evade me. At one point, I line up a clean shot on Zoe, but it then does an evasion maneuver and my missiles miss. I line up another shot, but Zoe does another evasion maneuver and gets behind me. This works out perfectly for me, because I can then do my own evasion maneuver to turn the tables on Zoe's turntables, and land some juicy hits. I try to fly away from Zoe to bait it into a hit-on pass, but it doesn't work too well, because it has longer missile range than me. I go back to dogfighting, and eventually I manage to land enough hits to bring Zoe down.
Enemy aircraft destroyed. You managed to take down that red SOB.
Now we come to a major mission split. We have to choose between partaking in two different operations, Operation Alphaville and Operation Bellissima. Unlike previous split choices, it wouldn't really make sense canonically to partake in both simultaneously, so we're gonna have to choose one. I decided to go with Operation Alphaville, due to it matching closer with the original game compared to Operation Bellissima. Now this is where we would take the Su-35 if it was in the game! Unfortunately, despite Phoenix canonically flying the Su-35 during the Usean Coup, the aircraft is not actually available in this game, unlike the original. The closest thing we have is the Su-37, which is not quite the same, so we'll be continuing with the F-16 for now. The first mission of Operation Alphaville is Mission 15, St. Elmo's Fire. Our job is to escort the Allied 4th Fleet through the Peyton Channel. I move ahead and destroy the 3 gunboats guarding the entrance to the channel. A pair of Typhoons soon appear to intercept us, so I work on taking them down. Unfortunately, not quite as cleanly as I wanted to. 2 more Typhoons come in to reinforce. I shoot down one, but the Allied fleet is taking hits, so I have to go save them. I sink the gunboats and the cruiser attacking the fleet, as well as the AA guns and SAMs, which I learned can actually attack the fleet. Once the initial blockade is dealt with, I shoot down the remaining Typhoon. Now that we have some time, I head north to intercept the ace Jiao, who is merrily flying along the edge of the map, yet I still somehow mess up shooting them down. The fleet encounters the next blockade, more cruisers, shore-based weapons, and a couple of F-15 SEs. I take out the Eagles first, then target the cruisers, neutralizing the air defenses on one. I then aim for the coastal defenses, an AA gun, and a few tanks that are shooting at the fleet. Once these vehicles are down, I sink the cruisers. Unfortunately, I get a bit too greedy and get blasted by a SAM on the second cruiser. This time, I make sure to neuter the cruisers first before sinking them, making the task of sinking them way less dangerous. Next up in Operation Alphaville is Mission 16, Visiting Hours, where we're paying a very important visit. And by that I mean we're blowing up Turntable, a large geothermal power plant controlled by the rebels. We first have to escort the landing ship Petrol Kust, whose name I'm pretty sure has its vowels swapped. I engage the MiG-21s that come to intercept us, and also start taking out the air defenses around Turntable and Rocky Island. A couple of Silent Eagles come in to join the fight, and I quickly dispatch them while waiting for Petrol Kust to land. Another wave of aircraft come in, this time Mirages, and I take them on, annoyingly taking a missile to the face when going up against one in a head-on pass. Once Petrol Kust lands and deploys the ground units, they come under fire from enemy tanks, so I quickly destroy them so our troops can keep moving. At this time, I also shoot down 2 F-14s, as well as the Ace Metal Sphere and an F-16. By now, the ground units have opened up Turntable's barriers, so I head down and just snipe the power plant core with an MPM, not needing to even dive into the tunnel. Our last stop for Operation Alphaville is the Kimona Islands. Mission 17, Toy Box, has us heading there to destroy the satellite laser weapon that the rebels are attempting to launch from the Space Center. I head towards the first island and destroy the first warehouse, which has the first satellite laser in it. I quickly destroy the first weapon, then start making my way to the second island. Some F-117s apparently decide to come intercept me, so I engage them. This F-117 is surprisingly good at dodging my missiles. I soon manage to shoot him down, and quickly shoot down the second F-117, who goes down much easier. On the second island, I neutralize the air defenses, then start destroying the warehouses. One of them has AA guns and SAMs hidden inside, but the other has the weapon inside, so I go straight for it. After quickly blowing up the hidden units, I go for the third island, and immediately start hitting the warehouses. Find the weapon in the first warehouse, and destroy it, then attack the AA guns around the island.
Phoenix, get to the shuttle launch pad immediately! The last satellite weapon has already been loaded onto the shuttle.
Okay. I head straight for the launch pad and immediately blow up the space shuttle. Now our work here is done.
Spoke too soon. Looks like we got enemy reinforcements.
Target in sight. It's Scarface, all right. Got a visual of a Phoenix on the tail. It's him. Let's make sure there isn't a third time. Take him down. I want to see him bleed.
So B Squadron is back and they want to pick a fight with us again. But first I blow up Stalker, who's trailing behind them. I then start working on B Squadron. I quickly take down one of my guns, and soon down another. A third member quickly goes down too. Reinforcements soon arrive, who I also have to shoot down. These reinforcements include 2 jammer aircraft, which complicates things. I focus on the jammers first, the F-18s, who are actually supposed to be Growlers, but they didn't make it into the game. I chase the first F-18 and try to gun him down, but gun tracking was being dumb. Another Beast aircraft gets behind me and starts firing at me. I do an evasion maneuver and shoot down one MTG, but I get hit by another one at point blank range. I then manage to gun down the F-18 and start looking for the second one. I spot him and quickly bring him down, stopping the jamming. I then start engaging the remaining Beast members. My gun tracking once again decides nah, but another member gets in front of me, so I decide to take the easy shot that was given to me. Thanks, man. I get behind another Beast aircraft and shoot him down. I do the same with another Beast member, dodging a missile at the same time as I shoot him down. The only one remaining is Beast 1, who I absolutely slam with every missile I have in quick succession. Get out of here, alleged Belkin.
Next chance I get, I'm cutting out your damn windpipe.
The last Beast Squadron aircraft has been destroyed.
So I know I said the remake takes precedence over the original, but since the following 2 missions don't have an equivalent in the remake, and there's no named Aces or Zoe encounters, I decided to slot them in here. Plus, this gives me an opportunity to actually use the Su-35, even if only for 1 mission. Anyways, our next aircraft is the Su-35 Super Flanker, or Flanker E. A modernized version of the Su-27 that also has canards to improve high angle of attack maneuverability. In Ace Combat 2, Phoenix gained access to the Su-35 just before Operation Alphaville and Operation Bellissima. Speaking of, our next mission is Mission 18, Sentinel, the real final mission of Operation Alphaville, where to destroy some offshore enemy radar sites along the Petrol coast. We immediately get intercepted by some F-22s. I down an F-22, but I can't find the second one, so I decide to start working on the radar sites. I approach the first radar site at an uncomfortably high speed and destroy it. I approach the second site at a much more reasonable speed and destroy it too. I then attack a sand near the next radar, when I spot the signature of some stealth fighters nearby, so I engage them. I down another F-22, then go back to the radar sites. As I destroy the last radar in this group, a stealth fighter tries to sneak up on me, but I turn the tables and take him down. I do the same with his buddy. I then get very disoriented and accidentally fly above the clouds before reorienting myself. I begin to run on the second group of radars, lining up to take them all out in one pass. A stealth fighter once again appears, but I am able to track him visually this time, allowing me to down him with no problem. As I clean up some of the remaining surface targets, more F-22s harass me, and I punish them for their insolence. I approach the last group of radar sites, but then I break off before destroying the outermost radar, deciding to save it for last, as I remember the autopilot tending to crash to the cliffs if the innermost radar is destroyed last. I take out the inner radar sites, then spot a fighter on me, but I find them too annoying to dogfight, so I just ignore him and neutralize the last radar site to complete the mission. Next up, we're taking the YF-22 Lightning II for a spin, the prototype version of the F-22 Raptor. This aircraft was technically unlocked midway through Operation Alphaville, but I wanted to give the Su-35 a chance to appear. With the completion of Operations Alphaville and Bellissima, Our next task is to neutralize the enemy garrison in the coastal city of Port Edwards. Mission 19, Jewel Box, has us destroying the elevated highway sections being used as makeshift runways around the city. But the last time Port Edwards highways were blown up, a couple of typhoons come out to intercept us, and I managed to damage one in the merge. I quickly shoot them both down. After destroying an AA gun and an ADATS on the outskirts of the city, I head towards the first highway section and begin lining up for an attack run. I perform my run such that I can destroy all the air defenses and the highway section in one pass. Unfortunately, I take a missile hit from a fighter and nearly crash into the highway as a result. Annoyed by this, I engage the Su-37. My missiles just decide that they don't want to track. I eventually take him down, along with his wingman, who goes down way easier. I head for the second highway section and begin my run, but I realize that I have a bad attack angle and I have to abort the run. I decide to engage the fighters for now, attacking an F-15E, before remembering that Strike Eagles take 3 missiles to down in this game. I clear out the fighters in the area and return to my attack run, properly lined up this time. The perfectly lined up run allows me to destroy all 3 highway sections in the pass. The next highway section has 2 Gripens taking off from it, and I decided to engage them first. They go down quick since they don't have much energy to maneuver. I begin my attack run, but I mess up and fly directly over an AA gun, which shreds me to pieces. Next time, my attack run is handled better. I take out the highway section and the air defenses without getting shot out of the sky. The second to last highway section and its defenders are taken care of really quick, including the launching Gripens. Approaching the last highway section, I could just take it out right then and there, but I decided to clear the area first because I'm greedy. I downed one Su-37 and start attacking the other, who pulls a Cobra, preventing me from downing him there. So I have to come back around to kill him, where I decide to shoot him down with my guns to assert dominance on him. With a couple more passes, I destroy the air defenses and neutralize the highway to complete the mission. Whoa, our YF-22 magically turned into the full production F-22. Anyways, our path is now clear to the rebel capital, St. Arc. Our task in Mission 20, Kingpin, is to liberate St. Arc and destroy the rebel HQ.
I truly believe that you can end this war. You've got what it takes to be called an ace pilot. Now let's go kick some butt. Show them what an ace can do.
Roger that. Anyways, after neutralizing the defense line at St. Arc Airport, I destroy the air defenses across the bridge, then start working on the fighters. The 2 F-18s that come out are quickly downed. I then go back to destroying the defense lines, taking out the air defenses in silos. The rebels retreat to their second defense line, and I start working on that too. The second defense line has a lot of air defenses, so I make a high-speed low pass to take out some of the SAMs and AA guns, then engage the fighters, some Gripens. I go back to attacking the ground targets, making good use of my MPMs to quickly take them out in one pass. With all the air defenses neutralized, I destroy the silos to punch through the second defense line. Zoe, now a general, comes in flying an F-15 SMTD, and it has a HUD jamming system. I whiff my missile shots in the merge, then mostly use my guns to attack, being completely undeterred by the jamming. I manage to get some missile hits in as it completes a turn. We then make circles around each other for a while, occasionally getting some gun hits in. Eventually, I get enough bullets in to down Zoe. I now head for the last line of defense, destroying the SAMs and the silo, leaving the HQ wide open. I then engage the last few F-18s that come to attack, evading their missiles and downing 2, while Slash finishes off the last one. I neutralize the last remaining air defenses around the HQ, and also destroy the named tank Mole under the arch, before firing off one last missile to destroy the rebel HQ, as Allied service forces close in to secure the city.
This should put an end to this war once and for all.
We're not done yet, apparently. Now we're gonna use the superior capabilities of our F-22 to sink a submarine. Mission 21, Last Resort, tasks us with sinking the Dragonet-class submarine Folkvanger before it can launch a ballistic missile at St. Ark. Folkvanger tries to fire SAMs at me, but I fly too low for them to track, and I take out the launchers with my MPMs. The sub is now left defenseless, and I sink it with more MPMs, completing the mission.
Phoenix, we've got an emergency. The rebel submarine has just launched a ballistic missile.
Oh no! Anyway, instead of pursuing the ballistic missile, which is actually a cruise missile, I quickly try to head towards St. Ark Airport, where Hot Snow is just chilling in an Apache in the middle of the city. Now that they're taken care of, I zip back towards the missile, which is about a third of the way to the city. I can't lock onto the missile, so I have to shoot it down with my guns, which is actually really hard. The missile gets dangerously close to St. Ark, but I eventually get just the right angle and distance to the missile that my gun rounds can hit, destroying the missile before it reaches St. Ark.
You held up well under such immense pressure. You're a downright hero.
It's time to get into the final battle. For this mission, the Usean Allied forces provided Phoenix with the XFA-27, an experimental multi-role aircraft developed in haste by the Allied forces, as a last hope to defeat the rebel forces. Technically, the XFA-27 in this game is unlocked after achieving the rank of Brigadier General, which takes multiple playthroughs. So instead, we're just gonna follow the Canon and use the aircraft for this final mission.
Fortress Intolerance. I thought it'd been demolished ages ago. Must have survived thanks to that asteroid threat. What a pain.
That's called foreshadowing. Anyways, Mission 22 Fighter's Honor requires us to destroy the rebel-controlled Fortress Intolerance before they can nuke Yuktobania and start a world war. But first, we're intercepted by Zoe one last time, flying the advanced fighter, the ADF-01 Falcon. The commander and I rapidly approach each other, and I managed to get some hits in the merge. Like its predecessor, this Zoe has HUD jamming, but also has backwards firing missiles and guns, which really adds complications, such as dying. Anyways, we're both really agile, so neither of us can really get any good angles on each other. I decide to try the classic tactical flying away so I can reapproach it head on. It doesn't really work at first, but after a few attempts, I do get the attack range just right and heavily damage Zoe, disabling its jammer and rearward weapons. A short dogfight later, I tell Zoe that Commander is a lower rank than General. Zoe can't take it and explodes. Now we can start working on Fortress Intolerance. I fire some ODMMs at the F-22s that come out to me, but they miss. I decide to just attack the power plants for now. I fire ODMMs at the power plants, but because I fired 2 at the F-22s, they were still reloading, so one of the plants survives, and I have to come back around to destroy it. I then quickly destroy the second set of power plants with my ODMMs. I then return my attention to the F-22s, shooting them down, and also quickly downing several other fighters. The rebels get desperate enough to even send out F-4s, who are very outclassed. I start attacking the fortress itself, destroying the air defenses and the fortress hardpoints, starting fires in the fortress. The rebels open the main vent to air out the fortress, but I continue engaging the fighters for now. It is at this point I ask where the named Ace is. After looking it up, I realize I made a mistake and I have to restart. This time, also bringing the correct aircraft color, I heavily damage Zoe in the initial merge with my ODMMs. I then get into this funny moment where the two of us get into an evasion chain. I don't survive this attempt, unfortunately. Eventually, after taking heavy damage, I managed to get enough missile hits on Zoe to bring it down. This time, I immediately shoot down the 2 F-22s that come to intercept me. This makes the Ace Fox Force 4 actually spawn, and I take him down. I then continue the mission as usual. I blow up the power plants, then head for Fortress Intolerance. I shoot down the fighters, protecting it one by one, using my aircraft mobility to my full advantage. Once all the fighters in the area are down, I start working on the fortress. I very carefully destroy the air defenses because my aircraft is currently being held together with hopes and dreams. I use the range of my ODMMs to attack the fortress hardpoints and SAMs from outside their engagement range, and continue shooting down fighters as they spawn. The main vent opens, but I continue engaging the fighters, definitely taking way more risk than necessary, but I use my high speed to rapidly close the distance with the fighters and shoot them down in a head-on pass. Once I'm satisfied that the area is clear, I line up with the vent and dive in. I make sure to be very careful with my controls, as the controls are very touchy. After a very careful tunnel flight, I get into range of the ICBM within, and fire off 2 missiles to destroy it and the fortress, ending the coup. Good thing I don't have to turn around and fly back out the tunnel.
Good job, Scarface 1. Let's go home.
Thanks for watching. That's episode 3 of this series down, and with this, we are now done with the conflicts of the 1990s. Well, sort of. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, and maybe hype the video if you're watching this in the first week of release. I still don't know how YouTube works. Also, if you want to see more of this series, make sure you're subscribed to see more. Reminder that I also stream a variety of stuff, and I'd appreciate if you came to my streams and said hi. Of course, I will be streaming Ace Combat 8 on the early release day, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go into the 2000s. Shout out to my channel members, Atlantis Portal 2, Cuddle Bunny, It's Air, you especially, Jacojin, and Andy Wap. If you'd like to join these names, make sure you click that join button and get early access to, well, mainly these videos. See you next time!